now, your host of the XFFL Show, Josh Mitchell.
Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the XFFL Show. I'm your host, Josh Mitchell, as well as the commissioner of this lovely league, the XFFL. Week 5 already in the books. We had a very, very close matchup, came down to the very end, as well as a huge upset in the Battle of the Pirates. But let's break down my matchup first. And of course, that would be the New England Nexus, as they just squeaked by the New York Potato Skins 109.02 to 102.16. Overall, both teams did not meet expectations, but one man surpassed them. Justin Tucker, the man, the myth, the legend, is 17.3 points on the day, including a field goal that pretty much sealed it for the Nexus. In our next matchup, it was the Riverhead Blue Waves taking down the North Carolina Carpetbaggers 134.48 to 125.44. A lot of key contributors for the Riverhead Blue Waves, but one in particular stood out for me. Devontae Adams, 27.4 points on the day. Definitely pushed his expectations through the roof. Oops. In our next matchup, as mentioned before, huge upset in the Battle of the Pirates. The Beastball Blackbeards take down the Malone Mutiny 145.14 to 124.76. Coming to the matchup, Malone Mutiny just needed less than 16 points from Travis Kelce to secure the win. Unfortunately, Travis Kelce said, "Hold my beer, I'm going to score 4 touchdowns on the day with only 25 yards. Does the math add up? Not really, but when you're in the goal line and you're near the end zone, Travis Kelce will get it done for you. In our closest matchup of the week, also came down to the Monday night game. It was the Charlotte Woo Outlaws squeaking by the Alpine Extreme 121.36 to 120.06. Woo! Very, very close. Josh Jacobs gets another 15-yard run. We're looking at a whole different story here. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Josh Allen, excellent game. Cooper Kupp, excellent game. Leonard Fournette, excellent game. Combined, 84% of Mike Warren's team's points on the week. Only 3 players. And in our final matchup of the week, highest point scorer goes to Scott Sheehan and the Rochester Revenge, as they take down the Carolina Pussycats 149 to 122. I think this is one of the first matchups where it was even scoring and there's no decimal points in there. Overall, the Revenge, solid games from Jefferson, solid games from Stephon Diggs, but overall, got to give the MVP to Patrick Mahomes, 34.48 points on the day. Congrats to Scott, and let's hear from him and his special friend.
Hey Rue, who got the most points in the XFFL this week? Was it your dad? Was it your dad, the Rochester Revenge? Don't run away from me. Sit. Rue. Good boy. The Revenge Tour continues.
Thank you, Rue, and thank you, Scott. Before we get to the Week 6 matchups, talk about a trade alert that happened in this past week, and a bit shocking, but it had to be done for the Nexus. A.J. Brown, Raheem Mostert, and a 4th-round pick are heading to the Malone Mutiny. In exchange, the Nexus receive a 5th-round pick, Michael Thomas, and Damian Pierce, a rookie running back that has been taking the league by storm. Can he keep it up? We shall see. A.J. Brown taking the league by storm. Can he keep it up and not have bad knees again? We also shall see. With that being the only trade so far of the year, and of course of the week, let's move over to Week 6 and previewing the matchups. And let's start with the game of the week. Now, it's not supposed to be projected for the highest point totals of the week, but regardless, it's very close. A 1.5 point difference in favor of the Alpine Extreme as they take on the New England Nexus. This might go down as the most head-to-head position-wise or head-to-head, just straight-up matchup-wise. A.J. Dillon versus Aaron Jones. Wow. Mike Evans versus Chris Godwin. Wow. And to top that all off, Justin Herbert versus Russell Wilson in the Monday Night Football game. It's literally going to come down to the Monday Night Football game. When it's all said and done, though, I'm going to go with the New England Nexus on this one. I don't like the Drake London matchup versus the San Francisco 49ers. Could it be replaced? Yeah, sure, absolutely. But when it's all said and done, I like Justin Herbert, and Russell Wilson can ride wherever he wants to ride, and it's not going to be to a victory. Go Nexus. But again, Monday Night Football will be all truth teller there of who is going to win. In our next matchup, a 16-point favorite for the Charlotte Woo Outlaws as they take on the North Carolina Carpetbaggers. I'm going to make this short and sweet. I'm picking the Charlotte Woo Outlaws. Cooper Kupp versus the Carolina Panthers defense. Yeah, not going to be pretty. But again, if the Woo Outlaws can only get 84% from 3 guys, there might be an upset here. But I can't see that happening again. And again, Cooper Kupp is just too dominant for the second year in a row. And in our next matchup, it is the Malone Mutiny taking on the New York Potato Skins. Right now it's a 7-point swing for the Malone Mutiny, but I still think it's going to be a close matchup. Kind of a huge question mark. Can we trust the New York Potato Skins wide receivers? Rondell Moore has some upside. Deontay Johnson really doesn't have the upside like he did with last year in Ben Roethlisberger. But there is one person I can trust, and unfortunately I passed him up. Saquon Barkley going against the Baltimore Ravens defense. It's a good defense, but Barkley should be able to get it done. I picked the Malone Mutiny in Saquon. Chris trusts, but also I trust in this situation. In our next matchup, it's not the highest point differential for the previewing, but still up there. The Rochester Revenge taking on the Beastball Blackbeards with an 18-point favorite. Kenneth Walker versus the Arizona Cardinals defense. I'm glad you kept him, Jeff. Glad you didn't listen to me. He's the man for the rest of the year, unless he gets hurt, obviously. So that should be a good matchup for you. However, there are 2 guys on the Revenge who are going to get a lot of points, and that's why I'm picking the Revenge in this one. Ramondre Stevenson versus the Cleveland Browns. A good defense, but he is now the main guy with Harris down. And Breece Hall versus the Green Bay Packers. Again, Michael Carter is still there, but Breece Hall is getting the touches, and he's getting the carries, and he's getting the receiving yards. So overall, I'm picking the Revenge. And in our final game of the week, it is the highest point spread for the week, 18.5 points, favoring the Carolina Pussycats, taking on the Riverhead Blue Waves. If you look at the Riverhead Blue Waves, injuries, bye weeks, kind of hurting him a little bit. I do like Tyler Lockett versus Arizona, but flip side of it, Deebo Samuel versus Atlanta Falcons should be good. Should be, but we'll see. I don't think it's going to be 18.5 point favorites, but I think Deebo Samuel can get the job done. And when it's all said and done, the Carolina Pussycats should come out victorious. And that's going to do it for the Week 6 preview, and thus the end of this episode of the XFFL Show. Thank you for tuning in as always, and enjoy a very good week of football and Alpine Extreme. Good luck to you. It's going to be one hell of a week.